Hi, my name's Eric, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk once again about Madonna. Today I'm going to react to her 2008 album Hard Candy and break down the album's lyrics. It's been a while since I talked about Madonna and I am so excited to listen to this album. Before I dive in, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite song on Hard Candy is. Check the description box for links to lists of nonprofits you can donate to. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my videos go live. Without further ado, track number 1 is Candy Shop. That's a Pharrell 4 count. Riddle me a song about a candy store that doesn't mention a lollipop.
Yo, peace to the gummy little kid. Let me dance on the corner in the UK and the USA.
Okay, yeah, that was fun. I really enjoy Pharrell's production on this song. I love his use of percussion as always. And I also I don't know what they're called. I think on the chorus it was those almost metallic sounding synths that brought me back to the early 80s, I think. They're very glitzy and glittery, but they were also modernized, of course, by this 2008 R&B production. The song does things lyrically that I've talked about a lot before on my channel, so I'm just going to peel back these 3 layers that I think will set up the rest of the album. First, of course, there's the overarching candy shop metaphor where I guess Madonna's body and her bag of tricks in the bedroom are all these treats that she has on display for a lover. Then of course relatedly there's the romantic aspect, pretty self-explanatory. And then as always there's music itself, specifically dance music, which as we know is another way that Madonna exerts power. Madonna has the power, I guess, to seduce someone, to compel them to dance, or to make them hungry for more of her. So just like the championship belt that she's wearing on the cover of this album, Madonna is starting from a very dominant position. Track number 2 is 4 Minutes featuring Justin Timberlake and Timbaland. Gotta love Timbaland. Love the horns. Yes.
Save the world.
Yes, I really enjoyed Timbaland's production. I actually recently have been getting back into his song The Way I Are. Such a nostalgic song for me, as is this one. This is probably the only song from this album that I actually know. I remember hearing the line from the second verse, "Sometimes I think what I need is a you intervention," and just not getting that at all. Now I think that there's kind of two possibilities here. Either I need you to come intervene and change up my life, or the likelier option, I am addicted to you and I need an intervention from you, which might show up later because addiction, as we know, is a common trope that removes power and agency, where she started out this album in a position of power. Otherwise, on the level of lyrics, the song operates almost identically to the last, except the candy shop metaphor has been replaced with a sort of ticking clock apocalypse scenario. Basically, Madonna's desire is more urgent. She's telling us that she doesn't want to hesitate to get what she wants. On Candy Shop, Madonna was powerful because of her music and because of her romantic prowess, and the exact same is true here. 4 minutes, the amount of time that she has to save the world, is the amount of time it takes to play your typical pop song. Track number 3 is Give It To Me. Okay, sort of like funk percussion.
What are you waiting for? Nobody's gonna show you how. Got no boundaries and no limits. If there's excitement, put me in it. If it's against the law, arrest me. Don't stop me now, don't need to catch my breath. I can go on and on and on. Give it to me.
Okay.
No one's gonna show me how. Give it to me. They say that a good thing never lasts and that it has to fall. Those are the people that did not amount to much at all. Don't stop me now, don't need to catch my breath. I can go on and on and on. Give it to me. No one's gonna stop me now.
Oh my god, I love the synths on this song.
Watch this. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. Don't stop it. Only here to win. Get what they say. You're only here to win. Get what they do. No one's gonna stop me now. Give it to me.
Yep. That's a highlight for me. That was so good. Pharrell's production is amazing. He and Timbaland being on this album together is a dream. I absolutely love the percussion and the synths on this song. It's so euphoric and energetic. In that way, it kind of reminds me of Wow by Kylie Minogue, not because of its style, but because it is just so full force and fun. And that makes sense with the lyrics because just like the ticking clock on 4 minutes, this song is about Madonna wanting what she wants and wanting it now. But this also comes with danger. On 4 minutes, Madonna said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and here she says on the first verse, if there's excitement, put me in it. If it's against the law, arrest me, which, hold your horses, Madonna. If you can handle it, undress me. So we could have a self-destruction theme creeping in here, but for now we've got stakes and danger that add to this sense of excitement. And then on the second verse, that creates another link between her intimate life and her career when she says, they say that a good thing never lasts, and it has to fall. Those are the people that did not amount to much at all. She's a risk taker privately and publicly, and that's why she feels powerful in all aspects of her life. Track number 4 is Heartbeat. That's pretty literal. More 80s influence than I was expecting.
On any given night, catch me on the floor, working up the sweat. That's what music's for. You can get the poppin' once I get going high and slow. Are you watching that? You know I feel it in my heartbeat. It may feel old to you, but to me it feels new, which makes me feel like the only one, the only one that the light shines on. For me, it's an escape, 'cause dancing makes me feel beautiful. Heartbeat, if you're dancing through the music, 'cause I'm getting excited. You know I feel it in my heartbeat. Don't you know? Can't you see? When I dance, I feel free. See my booty get down like oh. See my booty get down like oh. Don't mean to disappoint you. I've never felt so free. If you could stand in my shoes, then you would feel my heartbeat too.
Yeah, that was another song that really worked for me. I adore Pharrell's production on this album so far, and there's something about the chord progression, which chord progressions aren't a thing that I know a lot about, but even though I don't understand them here, they hit here, which is appropriately exactly what this song is about, and I think also how the song operates. The lyrics aren't super complex, but they are about the music itself and why Madonna enjoys it and why she makes it and why she dances to it. And I think that makes this a very worthy successor to Confessions on a Dance Floor because it's another album about music. And another thing that's interesting is that the song lyrically alternates between feeling very carefree and being very introspective and exploring on a deeper emotional level why Madonna, like I said, makes music. It's really another case of a song justifying its own existence. And with this sort of alternating lyrical tone, Madonna in one moment will talk about popping it and dropping it, and then elsewhere she'll say things like, "When I dance I feel free," and "Don't mean to disappoint you, I've never felt so free." And as I was listening, I was wondering why suddenly does she seem so concerned with what people think of her, and I think she answers that when she says on the chorus, "It may feel old to you, but to me it feels new." It, of course, is music, and so that means that the impact of music hasn't worn off for her, but I think this also might have to do with her feelings about her career. Like, I could imagine a hypothetical person asking Madonna, why after 20 years do you still have this passion? And her answer in this song is, I still feel it in my heartbeat. Music still gives me life, and in fact, it still is my life. Track number 5 is Miles Away.
Just woke up from a fuzzy dream. I looked in the mirror and I saw your face. You looked right through me, you were miles away. If you could see me the way you see yourself, I can't pretend to be someone else. I hear it in your voice when you're miles away. You're not afraid to tell me miles away. When no one's around and I have you here, I begin to see the picture, it becomes so clear. Too much of no sound, uncomfortable silence can be so loud. Always got me more miles away. I hear it in your voice when you're miles away. I'm alright. Don't be sorry, but it's true.
Ooh, nice. Nice. So this is definitely the emotional turn of the album so far, but in keeping with the album's spirit, it's still very danceable. So on a literal level, Madonna is in a long distance relationship, or at least she is separated from her partner by, I can assume, something like touring, but emotionally, she feels her partner pulling away from her. So there is a literal distance and a metaphorical distance. And the interesting central image of this song is this dream that she has where she looks in the mirror and instead of seeing herself, she sees her lover, but he's miles away. So I think how that image is working is where Madonna should see herself, where she should be concerned with herself and worry about her own needs, she sees her partner and is worrying about him, and even though she has all of that devotion and tries so hard, he's still pulling away from her. And another thing that's interesting is that it took a moment of, I guess, unconscious lucidity for this to become apparent to her. That's when this hits her, when she walked away from the crowds, when she was alone, and when she was by herself asleep. And I think a lyric that speaks to that is on the pre-chorus when she says that the silence can be so loud. And that's a cliche, but I think what she's getting at is maybe part of the reason why she creates and enjoys music so much is that it not only fills this void of loneliness in her life, you know, through this sort of entertainment and distraction, but also because it creates connection. Just like on 4 Minutes, it was about grab a boy, grab a girl, let's all dance together, basically. When she finds herself in the club or at a concert, it's a communal experience that she lacks even in her most intimate relationship. Track number 6 is She's Not Me.
I should have seen the sign way back then when she told me that you were her best friend and you were stolen.
Oh, I see where this is going.
She started dressing like me and talking like me, it freaked me out. She's got the flavor of the moment, cause she don't have what's ours. She's not me. She doesn't have my name. It won't be the same. It won't be the same.
I like the chimes.
She started dyeing her hair and wearing the same perfume as me. She started reading my books and stealing my looks and lingerie. I just want, she's not me. She doesn't have my name. She is licking her lips and she's wrapping her eyes. She's not me. She's, if you spend some more time, I guarantee you'll find she's not me. I know I can do it better. Gotta find a way to show your feelings. When they come back in focus, just trust me.
Okay. And now we've got strings too? Okay, just throwing everything out there. Okay. Yeah, so that very much played like an extended club mix, and of course that's the music of celebration. Madonna couldn't stay sad for too long, now she's moved on to revenge, I guess? And that's because we're learning why Madonna's ex pulled away from her, and that's because he was seeing someone else. And while the song lyrically is mostly straightforward, a couple lines that stood out to me on the second verse were, she started dyeing her hair and wearing the same perfume as me, she started reading my books and stealing my looks and lingerie. First of all, I hope she is not wearing like hand-me-down underwear, that's not sanitary. And second, this brings to mind the mirror image from Miles Away. I don't know quite how closely to read this, but just like she had a reciprocity issue on Miles Away and saw her partner where she should have seen herself, again, there is someone else standing in her place. It's this imposter. I feel like this mirror motif might also call back to Heartbeat, where she said, if you could step in my shoes, you would also feel my heartbeat, you would understand my passion, and specifically why I am still in this career. And so bringing in that career element, maybe Madonna as a character has a preoccupation with being replaced by her partners, by her audience, just in every way as a person. So I'll keep that in mind. Track number 7 is incredible.
Just one of those things when everything goes incredible and all is beauty. Remembering the very first time you caught that someone special's eye. Hope I wanna go back to then. Gotta figure out how, gotta remember when. Things that used to get you down don't have no effect at all. 'Cause life is beauty. Get my head around it. I need to think about it. You don't know what you got till it's gone, and everything in life just goes wrong. I felt it. It thrilled me. I want it to fill me. Can't get my head around it. I need to think about it. Can't get my head around it. I need to think about it. I remember when
Ooh, okay.
you were my friend. You gave me life. Get your hands up.
This is another song for the club.
I need to think about it. Incredible. You welcome to my party. I am missing my best friend.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this song sort of goes with the last, where they are two of the longer songs on the album, and they both take the approach of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I think that was a little bit more effective on the last song than on Incredible. Not sure how I feel about the chorus melody and how that fit with the production, but I also enjoy the journey of this song and that it reveals a little bit more about Madonna, specifically that she's not totally over this ex, and that's gonna be a problem. This song is about Madonna wanting to pull herself out of her heartbreak and reclaim the feeling of falling in love. She describes that moment on the chorus as when all of those things that used to get you down now have no effect at all. And as expected, there are two ways that she plans to get back to that incredible feeling: dancing and horizontal dancing. And to track that change, the bridge is split into two parts, the first representing the past, where she says things like, "You were the one, you were my friend," and the second representing the future, where she repeats, It's time to get your hands up, it's time to get your body moving. And as usual, this is the music commenting on its own function, which is to provide emotional fulfillment, escape, and hopefully a new connection. Track number 8 is Beat Goes On featuring Kanye West. Ooh.
Don't sit there like some silly girl. If you wait too long, it'll be too late. There ain't no time to lose, no time to time for you to celebrate. Your life, your choices. It's time. On the beat goes, on and on the beat goes, on and on the beat goes. You have got to say what's on your mind. Your head lost in the stars, you never go far. Here comes my hands, on the beat goes.
Big Donna Summer vibes from this song.
It's an impromptu, I want you. Now I'm going to tell you what I want to do to you. Your girlfriend, she wants to. Beautiful. Want everything that feel good, gotta be so wrong. Give me room now. I'm like a vampire under full moon now. Flashing lights, so I live that. Fame is a drug when I hit that. Cause I know exactly where to get that.
On and on.
Okay, yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoyed the arpeggiated synths in the background, and Kanye's verse brought back the addiction motif from earlier on the album and specifically tied that to fame. The idea of the song, or at least how it strikes me, is that life has a rhythm, as we learned on Heartbeat, and it goes on without you, and that's why you can't hesitate. That's why you have to go for what you want, just like we learned on 4 Minutes. I feel like this could be Madonna's message to herself or to really a younger version of herself. She talks about a little girl with her head lost in the stars, which I think could be an oblique reference to Lucky Star. But I think that might not totally work with the content of Kanye's verse, which is about both fame and romance. So whereas Madonna earlier was talking about chasing thrills in music and in love, here it's a little bit more explicit and tangible when Kanye talks about it because it's about, you know, the bedroom, but also about specific lofty career aspirations. Which can be dangerous because as of now, Madonna is still hooked on her ex. So Madonna is still in this headspace of rushing forward towards whatever indulgence she's chasing. Track number 9 is Dance Tonight.
I'm taking it to the club.
He's back.
Move your body, catch me from across the floor. Everybody's watching, but I just wanna give you more. I've fallen for your love in the worst way.
Yep, there it is.
You don't have to be beautiful to be understood. You just gotta get more than you ever had before.
Okay.
Let's dance tonight, and prove us to the world. And let the
This is fun. I like this.
till the break of dawn. Are you a one-trick pony, or do you wanna keep running this race?
Yeehaw.
'Cause talk is cheap, I don't have time to waste. You don't have to be rich and famous to be good. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think that was another disco-influenced song, and I really enjoyed it. That was a Timbaland-produced track, and it still blended really nicely with the Pharrell tracks. A line that stood out to me right away was when Madonna said, "I've fallen for you in the worst way," because that was the issue in the first half of the album, that she was so in love with this guy and so committed to him when he wasn't reciprocating, so it's pretty late in the game still to have this problem. But then it might also be notable that Justin Timberlake says to her, "Come closer," which is a reversal of the situation in Miles Away. Her partner is the one working on closing that distance. And Madonna keeps saying over and over in different ways that you need to push yourself to extremes to, I guess, impress people or find fulfillment. But then what else is interesting is that she says explicitly on the pre-chorus, you don't have to be rich and famous to be good. So when she's talking about pushing yourself, she's not talking about towards your career goals. She's talking about something else, which makes me feel like there is a distinct split between her career and her personal life and her emotions and the ways that she wants to push herself and the ways that she wants to find fulfillment. So that makes me think that her career is the thing sort of getting in the way. Fame is the thing that makes her concerned with her age and with feeling replaced. And maybe the fame was also what caused the rift between her and her ex. That's just a thought. Maybe we'll find out more on track 10, Spanish Lesson. Ooh, okay. Flamenco vibes. Okay, yeah, that was fun. Definitely a deviation sonically, but we do know Madonna loves some Spanish guitar, so this is, I think, a nice sort of modern adaptation of that interest that she's had throughout her career. I like that the Spanish to English translations are more interpretive than literal, though one piece of constructive criticism I have about Madonna's Spanish is her pronunciation of señorita. Why? But aside from that, this song might actually offer an alternate explanation for Beat Goes On, because here Madonna is singing from the point of a man to a woman. Like, she calls her, of course, señorita, and she refers to herself as loco, which is the masculine form of crazy. Is that totally thematically significant? Maybe, maybe not, but it does bring to mind the mirror image again from miles away. Maybe it's empowering to her to put herself in the shoes of a sort of Casanova like the one who broke her heart. Also on that really cool breakdown type bridge, she says, if you do your homework, I will give you more, get up on the dance floor. And that seems to me like a reversal of the earlier songs where she was concerned with proving herself to someone else, whereas now she can sit back and let them prove themselves to her. So maybe we have flipped back into that empowered point of view that we started the album with. Track 11 is Devil Wouldn't Recognize You. Okay, this is already feeling more emotional. Ooh, yes.
As quiet as it is tonight, you almost think you were safe. Waiting underneath the stars, the angels they surround my heart, telling me to let you go.
Yep.
It's like over and over, you're pushing me right down to the floor. I should just walk away over and over. I keep on coming back for more. Now I'm sober, no more intoxicating my mind.
There we go.
Even the devil wouldn't recognize you. You hide the sadness behind the smile, and you keep your lost heart raised. But I've been on that ledge before. You can't hide yourself from me. It's like over and over, you're pushing me right down to the floor. I should just walk away over and over. I keep on coming back for more. I do.
Ooh. Yes.
I'm playing to your fantasy. Now that it's over, you can light me right through your smile. I do.
Nice. Yes, okay, that was totally the emotional climax of this album. It was so much fun and so much darker than the rest of the album, and I like this personally also because on She's Not Me, her anger seemed to be misplaced when I thought she should have taken it out really more on her ex, but we know that she didn't because she still had feelings for him, she still had hope of getting back together with him. Now, that's over, and she is making up for lost time. And from a story perspective, her character addresses that struggle when she says that over and over, I keep coming coming back for more. I also noticed that on the first verse, she describes herself as waiting under the stars, and of course maybe she's stalking him at night to get her revenge, but also it seems to tie back to earlier when she described herself as a little girl with her head in the stars. Now her head is out of the stars. Her vision is unobscured. She's not dazzled by this guy's radiance, and she can see him clearly now for who he is. The rest of the lyrics are pretty much just different ways of expressing how this guy misled her and that she's not going to let him get away with it anymore. So once again, good for her. The final track, track number 12, is Voices.
Who is the master? Who is the slave?
Ooh, okay.
Treat me like a curse and tell me I'm your savior. I've never met the stranger I used to know so well. Are you walking the dog? 'Cause that dog is in hell. Are you out of control? Is that dog walking you? Voices start to ring in your head. Tell me, what do they say?
Ooh. Nice. And that is how the album ends. I really like that sort of dramatic, orchestral, cinematic, gothic tone to the end of the album. It's such a drastic change from the beginning of the album, but I think it works really well. And what's great also is that Devil Wouldn't Recognize You is the moment when Madonna decided to leave this ex, and this song is the moment when the ex has this realization setting in that he's no longer in control. One way that Madonna expresses how she has gained power and her partner or ex has lost power is that she says that the dog is now walking you. The object-owner relationship has flipped. Again, it's another mirror image going on here. And Madonna extends the devil idea from the last song when she says that this man has demonic voices filling his head, and really these are the demons from his past, the ways that he's hurt people coming back to haunt him. To me, this is a reckoning with his conscience, and he just can't cope with that because he's not the type of person that's ever been held accountable. In a way, this parallels Act of Contrition from Like a Prayer, whereas on that album, Madonna was the one being judged, now he is the one who's going to have to be judged. So Madonna, through her music, and I think also by claiming her womanhood, has gained her power back. Overall, this album was really fun, and I think the gradual transition from the more romance-centric dance songs to these very dramatic, emotional songs worked really well. I think my favorite stretch of songs on the album is 4 Minutes, Give It To Me, and Heartbeat. But I really enjoyed a lot of the songs. I thought they were really consistent, even with those 2 outliers at the end being so impressive and standing on their own. From this album's title and artwork, I was expecting something more saccharine, maybe even bubblegum pop. And that almost misdirect made me appreciate where the album went even more. So thank you so much as always for recommending that I listen to this album. I can't wait to continue on my Madonna journey with you. In the meantime, let me know in the comments what music I should react to and what other topics you'd like to see me cover on my channel. Check the description for those donation links. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and until next time, that's it.